Hello.
Good friend Joe Chi here with me. Hello, Joe.
I feel like we're in a helicopter, an airplane with these microphones on. Yeah, yeah.
Roger. So great to have you here,
Yeah, good to
Joe.
see you, brother.
Good to see you,
Always good
man.
to see you.
How was Bern? You just came from Burning Man, the big film,
Oh,
huh?
yeah. I mean, I kind of went that. It was an intense one this year. It was my 16th year at Burning Man. I love it, and one of the things I really love about it is the co-creation and just and I actually, I'm click clacking on the phone all day, so being in that environment and that danger, and it was a hard weather. It was 4 days it rained, and then the biggest windstorms I've ever seen ripped down everything. That was pretty wild.
Wild, but somehow it all came back together. As a lot of
No,
things
no, it
come back
looked like a
together.
Katrina hurricane aftermath in most places. No, people tried to put it back together, then it got destroyed again, and people call it rebuilding man instead because everyone's rebuilding and rebuilding.
Constantly rebuilding. Wow.
But this is the metaphor for life, right? You work so hard at something, you want to get it perfect, you plan for 6 months to 8 months ahead of time, and then it completely gets wiped out. And the thing for me, the lesson is how do we stay in joy in those moments when you've built your business, when you've had a relationship for 10 years, a marriage, and then it just falls apart. And then how do you stay in that joy and say, okay, you know what? That's hard. How do I accept that and understand that everything is temporary in this life? Our lives are temporary.
Well,
And
there's one constant thing.
death,
It's change.
that is true. I know it was really interesting. Someone asked in the summit yesterday, how many of you guys feel like you're in transition? And 80%, 90% of the people come up, and a lesson for me that I learned with that is we are always in transition.
Always in transition.
We feel like, oh no, I haven't this excuse. I'm in transition, going from this job to this job, or this relationship to this relationship, or moving. But the truth is, we are always in transition. So for me, a key for myself and enjoying life is once you know that, you can just relax into it and be like, yeah, I'm in
Just let
transition.
it flow. Let it flow.
Let it flow and enjoy the ride. Be in that joy.
Wow, I love that you mentioned that actually Adam Roask, who is in transition, and here in I'm Creation Summit, like a lot of people are in transition. It's very
Yeah.
good crew we have, the audience here, amazing speakers, and maybe you want to share any nuggets, takeaways you picked so far. I know you had your talk yesterday.
Yeah.
You've been hanging around here, so are there any kind of nuggets, any takeaways that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, some of the speakers are just saying so inspiring.
Right.
There's Nick, who was born. He's got no legs. He's got one arm and a kind of a finger, and this guy's just like has learned how to keep a perspective of joy, always looking for the beauty, and
The
uh,
frequency is just
yeah, he's an amazing
vibrating
speaker.
so high. Wow.
Yeah, and it's like being in with people like that that's inspiring because it's so easy for us to play the victim in our lives. This victim, this thing happened to me, and he has every excuse to play the victim, and he doesn't, right? And it's a reminder to myself to always just remember, it's like how do I see the joy? How do I see the opportunity? And one thing I like to say is when life gives you, people say when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Those aren't the people I want to be around. I want to be around the people that when life gives you lemons, they make a lemonade franchise and just like
Franchise.
and bring joy and in that franchise they're giving away inspirational quotes, and those are the people I like to be surrounded with, and there's a lot of those here.
Beautiful. And then you did an amazing talk yesterday. Maybe
Yeah.
share a few bits and pieces from it.
Yeah, thank you. It felt really good. My talk is really about bringing that soul purpose, uncovering it, finding our purpose in life. And I talked a lot about this concept of when we look inside of our bodies, it's made up of all these other things that are not even human cells. We have 40 trillion um, uh, cells in our bodies in our GI tracts that are not human cells. We only have 37 trillion human cells in our body, right? So that means there's more microbial cells in your body, and they're communicating with your brain. You know, like when you get sugar, sugar cravings, and you kind of get a headache. You're like, I need sugar. That's not from your brain. Those are
Those
getting
are worms peeing.
yeah. These guys are hijacking your mind, but they're communicating to us. The things inside of us are communicating to us. And if we look at the universe like a body and an organism, everything has a function. So why would we think we don't have a function? It's easy to go into nihilism, but the truth is each one of us has a purpose and a function. And once we can get into that, and I created a framework that stems from an ikigai. I playfully call it the icky girl method, and it helps uncover the soul purpose and to make money at it is sustainable. Because when it's not sustainable, you burn out, you get exhausted, and you stop doing it. So, talk a lot about that. That was really beautiful, and I got people to flip the script of their limiting beliefs, and then they rewrote that script to a positive affirmation, and people got up on chairs and spoke that to the entire room. And there's a woman that was just shaking, and it's like, it's your turn for
Oh
sure.
wow,
And she's like,
he does it. He's famous for his conversions of people from limiting beliefs to thriving purpose. People getting on tables, throwing chairs.
yeah, that brings me joy.
Love it.
Because I mean, how many times like transformation happens when we flip the script and we speak it out loud to our loved ones, to the world, and mostly to ourselves.
What's new with you? What's happening?
Ah, well, new on a personal life or business life? Which one do you want to
Give
know?
me some juice on the person.
Oh, I'll give you some juice. Well, uh, I have found I have a partner. We made a commitment ceremony for 1 year, and she's my age. And for people that know me, I've had a pattern of dating women much younger than me, and I've broken that pattern for just choosing hyper alignment. And she's amazing, and I feel really fully seen, and such healthy communicator, and incredible psychologist in Singapore, and it
So
felt
happy
really
for you,
good.
man. I
Yeah,
know her personally,
yeah,
so
you know her. Yeah,
I'm like fascinated by this woman, her
yeah.
brilliance and intellect, and then purposeful impact
Yeah.
that she's bringing. So wow,
Eh,
congrats, guys,
Thank you.
congrats.
And when we went to Burning Man together, a few days in, she breaks her toe, literally breaks her, snaps her toe in half, and clearly was in pain. And I remember, we're riding to this like medical center in the dust, and we're in this waiting room, which is basically a tent with these doctors and that are all volunteers. It's actually all free medical there, and she's sitting there giving oracle card readings to the people who are like bleeding out of every places, broken arms, dehydration, UTIs, and we're making little picnics for everyone. And it was like, it became very clear to me, this is the person I want as a partner.
Right, yeah.
This is the lemonade franchise
This
type
is
of person.
lemonade franchise. It gives lemonades to other people. Wow, fantastic.
Yeah,
What's happening with your podcast and then business wise? I know
yeah,
I've been recently a guest at your
yeah,
podcast,
I
which I
love
really
that.
enjoyed.
Yeah, so
What
fun.
else is happening? What's cooking
Yeah,
in the Joe's kitchen?
there's been a lot of interesting things. I've been doing a lot of mentorship for women in business.
Mm-hmm.
It's For those who don't know me, when I was in New York, I was at a really big software training company, and I was going in and working with all these top level of everything, helped transform a lot of industries, and it was all men, men
That's what I
everywhere.
call it. Very crazy,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I made a commitment to how do I support. And New York's supposed to be this very liberal, equal city, and it's more than a lot of places in the world. But it was still very clear that there needs to be some change. So I love everyone. I want everyone to be successful in their purpose, but my heart feels very drawn to women that have really strong visions. And I'm neurodivergent, so everything for me is processes, and analytics, and so I can help support with a lot of that AI and business processes, back end, geeky stuff that I really enjoy.
You mentioned the word, man.
Yeah,
I was like, don't mention the words to me, like longevity and AI. Then we'll have to geek out.
Well, okay,
But it's just
I'll geek you out on something. I met a guy who's created the first. You know what MCP is? Yeah.
yeah, multiple types of API that connects different protocols and servers, and then allows
Mhm.
communication for agents to kind of interact with each other. Yeah, much safer and faster.
Yeah, and this is the future,
Yeah.
right? And AI agentic processes are the new thing because we've been using AI to basically, like a Google, like a smart Google, but now it can do things, and that's what we really needed to. That's when the automations are going to come in. So he's created the first monetized MCP. So a way, because in MCPs, think of it as a way for you can type something in. So you could say, go to your Claude or ChatGPT and say, hey, go delete all my emails. Go look to see what I want to do, and it will do it for you. Or put an entry in my Notion database to create this podcast with Prem, and then message all my social media people to do X, Y, and Z. So you can actually, it's starting to do stuff. So he's figured out a way to monetize that. So I've been geeking out on that with him in San Francisco. Super exciting. So that's a little geeky that I think you might like.
It's an interesting one for agentic web, and I've been trying to kind of get a humanity towards vertical narrow AI
Yeah,
that's useful and away from super intelligence, even though AGI is already here, artificial general intelligence. And so my question is like, how do you use AI in an ethical way, not to outsource what you do, not to um, demolish your brain, but still learn from it, still have the neuroplasticity
yeah.
on, so you don't kind of damage your cells and then just kind of outsource most of our cognitive function.
Well, let me ask you a question. How many phone numbers can you recite from memory?
Well, you know what? I was born in an age before internet, so
I know. That's
I
why I'm
know by
asking you.
heart a lot of them.
A lot.
I still
Yeah,
remember those, even back 30 years ago. I
yeah.
still remember them.
And how many are you memorizing in the last 3 years?
Well, yeah, I don't, because it's
Yeah,
been outsourced, right? That's my
yeah.
question. Is like, how do you do that? Do you spend more time learning, or how do we stay healthy and not outsource a lot of things so that we connect to each other?
It's the age old question of what do we do with our technology, right?
Hmm.
So in the past, now we order things from the grocery store instead of going out hunting. We've lost those skills dramatically, which is a bit scary. And I'll tell you a story if you want later about how I needed to go learn how to get food without ordering it from Gojek and Uber Eats. But for are you asking for me personally or in the world? Because in the world, people are going to outsource as much as they can. You can't stop it.
It's a race.
And what are you going to do with your time? Well, it would be amazing if you would do some positive things with your time, spend more time with your families and loved ones. Are people going to do that? I don't know. They might do some more doom scrolling, most likely, with their time. But I was facilitating on a yacht trip in Croatia. One of the guys, old school guys, the first AI companies, a long time ago in the 70s. And what he said is this, right? He's not worried about AI destroying the planet or post-apocalyptic, robots taking us over and, mining us for our energy or blood. He said the real danger is that there's not going to be a lot of jobs left. It's going to be a lot of time. So what he's going is to govern the governments of the world and trying to convince them to reduce the amount of working hours per week significantly every year for the next 20 years, basically. And he believes 8 to 10 hours is about the only work time that we're going to need to do.
Per month.
No, 8 to 10 hours per week is
Per
where
week.
he wants to get that, where he wants to get it down.
So we slowly kind of
Yeah, he wants to wean people off of work
win
hours,
them
basically.
off their work, like
Yeah,
go from the meds, because most of these jobs are actually, when they did study, their people are not happy with it. They're just
yeah.
doing it for money. So what will happen when we go through this dystopian age where jobs are like obsolete, and then there's
Yeah.
universal income? What we people gonna do, right? So we have to,
Are they going to write poetry? I don't
right?
know. My ChatGPT can do
They're
that for
probably all
me.
gonna come to Bali or
Yeah, are they going to
Croatia
paint?
summit just to hang out with us here in the cabin, right?
Maybe they spend more time in community. That would be amazing. That sounds like a beautiful utopian
Yeah.
move. But I don't know what they're going to do. What I'm going to do is keep trying to help people, be in line. Because right now, People, when you're struggling to get money, you just do things that you don't care about. That's not passionate.
there is probably an opposite impact. It's gonna
Yeah.
impact somebody.
So maybe hopefully people can choose what they want to do, and they can choose from their curiosity, from their passions.
Mm.
How do you help more people? How do you go out and volunteer, build some orphanages? That would be great. But
Guys, just help other people. Use AI, you know, ethically and then cautiously. So,
yeah.
Joe, for people who don't know your brilliant work and who
Mhm.
you are, where can people find you? What are the links,
Mm.
websites, social media
Yeah.
handles?
Yeah, I mean, and I love to connect. I just actually have a book coming out December 8th on the first comprehensive framework for human connection. So if you're listening and you're like, okay, who's this guy? I'm a little curious. He's a little crazy, which is a little bit true. But I've been collecting things from incredible speakers like the people here for 20 years. I spent so much money on this. It's embarrassing. I want to share that with you. Most of it is free. You can find me on Instagram, joeche, joe.che.tandle. My website, theconnectionmap.com. Lots of free stuff on there. I'd be happy to. But reach out. Tell me, say, hey, what's going on? Share your journey with me. I love to be on it with you. It'd be an honor.
Amazing. Stay tuned for I'm Cruising Samuel. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
let's
Bye bye.
go.